A big thank you for the fruitful discussion. Now we're going to sign a memorandum of collaboration between the Confederation of Ukraine Builders and the Confederation of Entrepreneurs and Employers in Poland. Marcin Nowacki, the Vice President of the Union of Entrepreneurs and Employers in Poland, is kindly invited to come to the stage. A big thank you to our partners for trust and support for in these difficult times. And your support is really important to us. Now we will move on to the discussion panel showcasing practical cases of reconstruction and recycling potential in Ukraine. Let me invite Olena Kolczyk, head of Ukraine support team and co-founder of Rethink, who will be the moderator. And then the speakers, Oleksandr Hrinchak, Dmytro Chichuk, Tetiana Stolarenko, Vitaly Shevchenko, Christian John Engelsen. We will move on to the discussion, and I'll give the floor to the moderator, Ms. Olena Kolczyk. Hello and good afternoon, dear
Yes, can you
colleagues.
bring one more chair? Tak.
And housekeeping. Most of our panel members are Ukrainian speakers, so we are going to moderate this and we will use the interpreters. We have just heard about the potential of the mining industry in Ukraine, and we all understand that the world is changing. And while the war is going on, the new technologies and new opportunities are just being missed. And then in Europe, we have. We are now using 50% of recyclable materials in the construction industry, but it is very important for us to move the know-how into our country. We have representatives of municipalities, the academia, and organizations and companies that are going to think about recycling in Ukraine. What is important to understand? Ukraine is now faced with a huge problem, a problem of processing all of the debris from the destroyed buildings. And all of us need to realize and understand if this is our problem or our opportunity. Maybe we should start working in a new area, starting to process this kind of waste and debris. We're talking about the economy of limited resources. We cannot really rely constantly on mining. We need to recycle materials, reuse them, not only for the environment, but also for the sake of the economy. So we're going to talk about these topics today, and we're going to talk about adjacent topic related to construction, recycling, and practical cases of what we're faced with in Ukraine. And we will be trying to give answers to these questions. My name is Olena Koltuk. I'm the head of Ukraine support team, and I'm co-founder of Rethink. This is an environmental organization. We work with communities. We look for solutions of what to do with the debris that's from demolished buildings. Let me present the first panelist, Oleksandr Hrinchak, head of Odessa District Administration, Military Administration. Dear Alexander, I know that we can cover a broad range of topics, but let us understand what kind of problems you're faced with now and what are the prospects in your district. Yes, thank you very much, and a good afternoon to everyone. First of all, let me extend my thanks to the organizers of this event, and we have the opportunity to build business relationships, to build dialogues with our partners from the European Union. And a big thank you to everyone, every citizen, every business, every governmental unit of the EU, those who are not indifferent, who are now helping Ukraine to withstand the black injustice, the dark injustice. Thank you. I'm representing the Odessa district, and I was sent by the governor of our district to this meeting. So whatever you can see in this presentation can actually be implemented into all of the area of the Odessa district. And let me figure out how to move the slides. So we have an Odessa district, which is one of the biggest districts in Odessa, almost 4 million square meters. And then we have 22 territorial communities, and the population is almost 1.5 million citizens, and to that we can add around 300,000 IDPs. What are the advantages of our district? They include the fact that we are located on the shore of the Black Sea, and we have three largest harbors of Ukraine. The Odessa district has import facilities. We have a well-developed network of roads and railways at proximity to the borders with EU countries. We also have 6 estuaries of rivers. And then what about the residential development? After this full-scale invasion, we now have nearly 300,000 IDPs in our region that they have no houses, no housing, and then a lot of housing in our district has been destroyed by the shelling. So we need to first reconstruct and also build housing for those who have no housing at all. What about the environment now? Our region needs construction of a waste recycling plant, and this reconstruction and construction of wastewater disposal and treatment systems and sewage collectors is another thing that we need. Almost all of our region has sewage collectors in a critical condition, and they need to be fully renewed or rebuilt. And very briefly about the social sector. Now, in our region, we have needs, things such as citizen safety. We need to have firefighting services, places for health care sector with primary healthcare outpatient clinics. And of course, the education sector needs schools and preschool facilities and also the construction of shelters. And like I said earlier, we are very fortunately located, and we can talk about tourism. We are located at the shore of the Black Sea, and we have six estuaries. That means that, including that quite a few of our boys are at war and they get injuries, we need to have rehabilitation centers in our district and in our region. And more than that, there should be some tourist complexes and also spa facilities and so on and so forth. Well, considering that we are located in a very fortunate position, then we have a very good network of railways and roads, but of course we need to have logistic hubs, and we have already allocated some land plots for this construction. Manufacturing industry. We have already held a meeting with representatives of the industrial sector in Czech Republic, and we are talking about the construction of certain factories in our region. And then we are thinking of specific projects, and we're talking about specific land plots. I'm now not going to give you the details. And our region also needs, well, considering the constant air raids, we should get ready to have alternative heating, alternative power generation. This is why we're inviting businesses to build those facilities in the Odessa region. There could be various kinds of projects. There could be various kinds of facilities to secure alternative heat generation, alternative water supply, and so on and so forth. Our municipalities, and I have actually left you with my contact details and my deputy's details. We have territorial communities, and they have the doors open for you. They are fully ready to accept business from the European Union. We would like to welcome various other partners to create comfortable conditions to reconstruct our region, to build businesses. And I'm not talking about volunteering or just some funds from support foundations, but I'm talking about also business collaboration. Please make use of these contact details on the slide and contact us. And please let us know if you could invest, if you could get dividends. And we would, of course, create some additional jobs and create or increase our local budgets. Okay, so let us talk about Kiev and Kiev district, because this was actually the first one which was deoccupied in Ukraine, and this actually was the first one that faced post-war problems. And now, thinking about the debris and the waste, well, there is this question, what do we do with those demolished buildings? And then in Bucha, we have seen the first projects in Ukraine that is indeed an attempt to process the waste. And I would like to present Dmytro Chichuk, Deputy Mayor of Bucha. We also have other representatives of institutions that take part in the Bucha project. So a question to you. Apart from your presentation, Mr. Chichuk, What kind of topics and what kind of problems have you directly faced, and what would you like to change, and what could have been done better or not, and what are some things that you could have done better?
Good morning. I'm Dmitro Chuk, the deputy major of Bucha. I would like to share my experience of implementation of restoration project in Bucha. I would like to say that the Bucha is located in the Kiev region. Actually, it was the first town to be occupied, and we are as one. I'm not afraid to claim one of the exemplary community that had to tackle these difficult issues on the way to implementation of the projects. I just would like to have a short conversation or talk on what way we have covered. So the Bucha community consists of 37 residential districts, and after the Bucha's occupation, we had considerable damages. Almost 4,000 objects. Some of them are presented on slides here. Among other objects of infrastructure, we have got some critical infrastructure objects, some electricity supply, kindergarten, schools. So it's understandable that the first thing we faced is the necessity to carry out required checkups on the availability of hazardous objects, and the Bucha town community got together to decide where they accumulate these wastes, and we have decided on kind of classifying them into some categories. We understand that on the spot it was impossible to to demolish and to separate all these objects. It was difficult because it's a cost-effective in sense of the human resource engagement and, of course, time-consuming. So finally, we decided to set the location that would correspond to certain requirements, which would give us possibility to transport the waste and look for the ways to recycle these objects. So I would like to showcase what we have achieved. So let's take an example. The Vokzalny Street, it was the first street that has been rebuilt, and actually we have restored 180 private estates. Of course, we haven't managed to launch this regular traditional way of recycling. We just had some checks on the hazardous items and demolished the buildings. In November 22, we have managed to project these small model buildings, and within 5 months we have managed to restore 180 private houses, and out of which 18 houses were built from scratch. Others buildings have been restored. What I would like to mention that alongside with this restoration process, there were some waste that emerged during the renovation works, repairs. Of course, we also took care of the pavements, fences, street. So it's a kind of comprehensive, we would say, and immensely represented list of objects that is usually done during such restoration process. The street was restored within 5 months, like I have previously mentioned. Just would like to mention how much money was spent on it, and 160 million from the state and local budget and 40 million revenue. So you can understand how active our partner is being in providing the assistance. Another example is the explanation where we took the Okay, so for example, we have got this multi-story building which was demolished, and on its site another house has been erected. So and we hope that within a year we will be able to restore the complete section of the house. And it's another example. So it's the martial arts school that was restored by financial assistance of our foreign partners, donors. We have managed to recover it, to give the second life. Yes, we do a lot of work with regard to the social structure, not only critical infrastructure objects. So actually, we do not have much time to waste. We work efficiently and quickly. With regard to our accomplishments, I guess that it's a bit old information with regards to the fact that everything is changing dynamically, and I think that with regard to the private houses, we have managed to restore, I guess, around 2,000, and why? With regard to the reconstruction companies that usually enter our community doing the reconstruction work, they put a question: where should we accumulate all these wastes? How are we supposed to collect it? Where should we transport? So a lot of similar questions arise. So on slide you can see that there are some objects that signify the progress in recovery. Objects of critical infrastructure, social infrastructure facilities. Critical infrastructure was of primary importance to us. Then, of course, we focused on kindergarten, schools, and then we shifted to private houses. With regard to the waste management, the overall territory we have designed was 2 hectares. It was a bad choice or solution because we managed to occupy around 6. And we initially planned that we would be able to carry out recycling, and with time we understood that it was pretty cost consuming, let's put it, and the with with regards to this waste, it can be estimated around 75,000 square meters. Thanks to the partners, thanks to the team members, we started to equip this recycling site. Of course, it was difficult to comply with the standards, since we have been doing everything quite fast, and we, of course, didn't have time for this keeping up with the compliance regulations. We just arranged some ground at which we might place the necessary machinery that might provide this recycling process. With the help of the machinery, we actually received a tremendous number of technical equipment, and now I can reflect that the most essential at that very moment was to be able to skill the personnel to behave with this technical stuff. So the first is, of course, assessment, sorting, classification, and of course, the hazardous and explosive elements management. After we have finished the assessment criteria, we started like preventive sorting. We started sorting the dangerous stuff, and then we started recycling. Mostly the majority of the material that might be used in recycling we used for pavement and for strengthening the road grounds. And there were even some types of waste that could not be recycled. We call them like mixed waste. They come in different types. It was difficult to conduct some rational and based sorting. You understand what it's about, what it looks like to be able to tackle almost 85,000 square meters of waste. During the first days of the occupation, we faced the issue of some chaotic like waste territory. We had to deal with it somehow, and of course we put an effort in recycling. At this very point, it was essential not to make this like issue last long unsolved, so we had to react correspondingly and immediately. That's why we didn't want let for this spot become like the massive waste for our city population. That's why we have arranged like this monitoring and control in order to accumulate, keep, and recycle in the future. So I think at Metro, in order to assess the problem, to solve the problem, the most essential is to be able to evaluate the scale. So according to our estimates, Bucha, if I'm not mistaken, 130 houses were destroyed and one multi-storied building. Those that were completely destroyed. I'm not sure about the accuracy of the estimates, but actually it's about 40 tons of waste. So to compare, for example, official numbers say that it's 600, 700 thousand. So probably it's not quite accurate since the like the final estimates can be usually done on site. So for example, Kharkiv is an illustrative example of the vast territory of destruction. We have been in Kharkiv, and we can even assume that Kharkiv can serve as a case to illustrate how this recycling can be implemented. That's why it would be essential to make some serious decisions. For example, for yes, and I would like just to mention that today with us is Tatiana Stolarenko. I would like to say that probably we are not speaking about waste management anymore, but mm, being under the influence of this ecological stuff. So let's, being, for example, green, let's try to construct our buildings according to the new green principle. So how can it be? And with regard to the case, Tatiana is going to present with the case study creation of the world's first underground school. Tatiana, please share the experience of Kharkiv region.
Hello and welcome everyone, and a big thank you to the organizers for the invitation. At the beginning of this year, we were presenting projects, the first underground school in the world, and then back then, people were laughing, were giving us a smile and saying, "Oh, that's a nice project, but maybe it's useless." And now we are sharing this project not only with cities of Ukraine, but also with cities around Europe. And things are actually changing very quickly, and we don't know what will happen tomorrow. So Ukraine is leading the way in that sense. I wouldn't agree that Kharkiv is going underground, but this is just a quick, innovative solution which helps us to adjust and adapt to the realities. And yes, indeed, this was the first initiative in Kharkiv to organize the education project in the underground school. We told many of our international partners about the school in the underground station. Now we have 241 schools or school facilities that have been destroyed, and we have more than 54,000 of children, school-age children, that need to have more or less regular educational process offline, and we need to find solutions. And since the underground school is actually limited in its capacity, well, we came up with an initiative to develop a project of underground school. And first of all, this is actually a shelter, which, as of today, is equipped with state-of-the-art equipment and facilities, and this is where educational process is taking place. And this traditional shelter became not only a school. As of today, it is being used as facilities to conduct all kinds of maybe cultural events or other events. we can actually carry out well preparation for young children, the ones who are getting ready to go to school. So this is a preschool preparation. Here you can see some details of the project. But not looking at the fact that this project seems to be a traditional shelter, but it is well beyond that. And our international partners helped us to actually arrange this project. And the costs of the construction have been taken from the local budget, 59 million of hryvnias and 23 million of hryvnias were taken from USAID and other international donors to arrange this school. I need to go back. Yes, as you can see, as of today, the trust in this school is very high among the parents, just because there is a great demand to organize offline schooling. And as of today, like last year, we had 2,000 children who were being offered offline schooling. Now it's more than 6,000. And now we are creating 3 more of the underground schools. And of course, we are going to provide education to more children. These are the different stages of the construction process. And this is what our underground school looks like. These are the school classes or classrooms. And then we have a room for IT classes or computer classes. And we also created a resource room. We also created a special space, which is a multifunctional space, also for cultural events. We also have a canteen or a buffet. Regretfully, we cannot prepare food within the school, but we have a dining room. And what happens is that we have food boxes being brought, and children have food, and then they can consume it in place. We also have centralized busing of our children to underground school facilities. And then we also going to have inclusivity. As part of this project, we also have a robot technology class, which is open not only to the students from that school, but also from kids from all around Kharkiv. So there are like special clubs for children. Here you have the entrance. You have the inclusivity for people with disabilities. This is the educational process in that school. And then you probably know we have certain limitations in terms of how many hours kids can stay within a school. At the moment, we have 450 kids, and they can stay there up until 5 hours. But kids enjoy the school so much, and they enjoy the facilities and the schooling process. They would love to stay longer. And I'm going to show you, play a video that we shot together. So please stop it, please stop it. Could you please stop it? And on the 2nd of September earlier this year, our children started the school in a full-fledged program. And we arranged this joint project, and you will see in a moment how this happened, how the school was opened. And we do think that we aren't going to go underground, but our contemporary solutions are, addressing the needs of the time. And very soon we're going to also start another project that we're developing with our German design bureau with a partner. It's our shelter park. And now please take a look at our video reel, which shows the teaching and education process in Kharkiv.
Харків перебуває під потужними обстрілами, і для нас занадто важливо, щоб діти мали можливості навчання в режимі офлайн. Ці умови, які ми створюємо, вони більш-менш безпечні для дітей.
Це на зараз єдине безпечне місце для навчання офлайн. Дуже хотілося, щоб дитина мала соціум, мала друзів, розуміла, що таке школа. Наразі це можливо зробити в Харкові тільки в підземній школі.
Ця школа забезпечить всі напрями, психологічна підтримка, якісне навчання, спілкування дітей.
Підземна школа – це саме та можливість, де діти можуть між собою спілкуватися, де вчителі можуть спілкуватися.
Thank you. A big thank you for this presentation. And the main question, going back to our topic, is can we have these schools or other schools and other buildings being built with debris? Let me present Vitaly Shevchenko, Director of the Municipal Enterprise Operational Linear Road Management in Mykolaiv. And then, dear Vitaly, I know that you were actually using technological equipment from JOCA, from Japan, and you're planning to process your debris. Well, we have had the example of Bucha that has used waste material from debris, and something worked well, something didn't. So what kind of debris volume do you have, and what do you plan doing with it? Well, hello and welcome, everyone. A big thank you for the invitation. And then based on the Bucha example, well, you saw how you can actually turn waste material into building material. And then we need to extend a big thank you to the government of Japan, UNDP, and USAID, donors, organizations that have supplied equipment for the processing of debris, the waste that is being created after the aggression of the Russia's Federation. And then as a result of air raids, a short story. Mykolaiv, our city, is located close to the occupied territories. And then we have quite a few air raids. And during the first and second year of the war, we were living under heavy air shelling. And we didn't have any day without something flying in the air. So we have nearly 3,000 different buildings, and over 2,000 got ruined or demolished. Some of them were actually, totally ruined, and some of them were destroyed partly. And we still need to figure out if we need to fully demolish them or to reconstruct them. So we do not have the need to do the same that Bucha did, with the destroyed infrastructure. But literally, during the first 2 or 3 weeks, we actually filled well over 5 hectares. And then we decided that we have really many cubic meters of debris, and we understood that we're going to have a big problem. So this year we received the major amount of the equipment. We're still waiting for more to come in January and March, and the city council and myself as the head of the city road management and construction management, we were tasked with with processing this raw material, and we were supposed to actually use it 100% for the reconstruction of our city. So we got a land plot, 10 hectares, where we would put a kind of an area for waste sorting to subdivide the waste into minor fractions of different kinds. Of course, we are very vigilant of asbestos and asbesto concrete, and we're going to investigate that. And with the rest of waste, we're going to process it. Like Bucha, we're planning to reuse the materials for road building, and the first layer for road building will be made of debris. And I think up until 80 or 90% of all of the debris will actually be suitable for road building. However, let me give you an example. Each region has different maybe standards of building houses. In the south of Ukraine, we had the so-called natural stone, which is a shell stone, and you can crush it into mineral powder, and then you can use it as an additive for asphalt and concrete mixes. And this is our target. We would like to process the debris to make sure that whatever debris we have today will become raw material tomorrow. And then the first stage would be to have a special place or a square. And then on this square, on this land plot, yes, you can see all of the destruction. And of course, you cannot see all of the types of destructions. There were many schools, for instance, that were destroyed completely up until, zero level. And then we are trying to use this as a processing plant. And then we plan to build an asphalt and concrete production facility that would use that shell powder as an additive for asphalt. And then when we're talking about the recycling, then we're going to recycle the material for road building, for asphalt and concrete, and maybe also for concrete and cement mixes. Maybe this could be used for foundations of building or for other concrete blocks to give them a second life. The basis of our idea is as follows. So you can see the transition from a destruction square to processing square, and then after processing, we get the raw material to all the three uses that I have mentioned previously. So asphalt plant disposal or road building and so on. So this is the second life of the debris. And what else should I add? Today, we have a full cycle of equipment, and we have funding from our town hall to arrange this land plot. But we're looking for partners and donors that would bring us exciting technological experience for reusing or recycling that raw material. And of course, I understand that this might happen after we have started processing, and we would understand what kind of materials we have and what we get at the outcome. And then there might be some new technological solutions. So there could be a donor that would install a manufacturing line with that particular raw material. There could be some technological solutions that for making products that would be used even beyond our region. Thank you very much for your attention. Yes, this is a big task for all of Ukraine. World Bank estimates that we're going to spend nearly $6 billion for the reprocessing of debris. And it is really important for us to understand if that waste and debris could have some commercial value, and could it be reused for building construction with some economic, case. And this very question, and then many other questions, I hope will be answered by Christian John Engelsen, Chief Scientist at SINTEF from Norway, and hopefully you will tell us more details about what kind of ideas there are in Europe to process some kind of debris. Does it make a business case at all? And then how do you handle dangerous materials? Because there are many dangerous materials that are really, an issue for many communities. And what do you do with that? Because this is an issue for many municipalities. The floor is yours.
Having me here. It's a great honor to be here and to present some of our experiences at SINTEF in Norway. I will take you around and show you some of the pilots we have done in Norway and also elsewhere. Let me see. Yeah, the generation of construction and demolition waste is enormous, no doubt about that. This is the figures in different parts of the world. 800 millions in Europe, more or less. It's enormous, and it can only be seen as a resource. However, if you look at the construction and demolition waste or the debris, how it's what the composition is, it's extremely heterogeneous, and it needs different feedstocks, needs different technologies. If we, yeah, here you can see the biggest plant in Norway. It's a 350 or 400 TPH, tons per hour plant, using advanced technology and get clean materials. They are also recycling polluted excavated soil into recycled aggregates, which are used in different types of products. This recycled aggregate produced in a controlled way is cost efficient and also with excellent properties. It's simply not only to put through the construction and demolition waste to a machinery and use this in different application, because different application requires different quality criteria. And this is what we have focused on since the end of 1990s with regarding recycling of construction and demolition C&D waste. This is an example of the RMC producer in Norway, where you have a separate bin for the recycled aggregate recycled from the C&D. So this is common practice, and they are using it in structural concrete. So treatment and recycling of C&D waste equals to recycled products. And these recycled products can be used, recycled aggregate can be used in ready-mix concrete products, and also, as we heard, in road construction. Highway roads needs to fulfill actually a set of physical and mechanical properties also, so this needs also to be controlled. It can be used as replacing cement. If you go to the fine fraction and you are able to take out the cement paste, I will come back to that a little bit later. And also the recycled cement paste can be used in cement clinker production. These are examples of a lot of full-scale pilots from all types of application, buildings, reuse of buildings, blocks, and road constructions. So this has been ongoing for many years, and this is an example of how you simply are taking out the reinforcement bar in hollow core concrete, which is not that easy. This is an example where we process 45,000 ton into clean materials. This high school was built in early 2000 with as a first full scale in Norway with recycled C&D waste. And this is a very good example of how high-grade aggregates from C&D waste can be used. So you have different materials or different C&D waste streams. So this is an example where we mixed excavated materials, which is a lot, to concrete rubble, and we used this in a wet process and did a full-scale pilot, actually one of the first, where we had 100% recycled aggregate with fine fraction and coarse fraction, with excavated material and debris. Yeah, you can see it here. It's it's quite huge concrete slab with B35, 35 megapascal after 28 days of curing, implemented in 2019. Another example is a large national project that is ongoing in Norway right now, where we are testing different technologies in the road structure, road infrastructure, meaning in the road, but also all the concrete structures that are related to road construction. And that means that we are testing to actually do a pilot with Velde in Norway using urban mining technology, where we are demonstrating 100% circularity. And you can see here from the pictures that you get quite clean coarse aggregates, you get a sand fraction, and you get a cement paste fraction, which is high in cement paste, and which can be used as a cement replacer. So just to go back to this, it's important to emphasize that this pilot is the whole chain is demonstrated. I mean, the practicalities, the documentation part, and also the demonstration part installed in the final building. So this is something that is very interesting, because it's not a secret that the fine fraction when you crush C&D debris is actually the biggest problem. You get a 30, even 40% of 30% of fines that is ending up in a pile, which you need to have an offtake of. And this is one technology that can actually valorize the fines. Yeah, this is another example, concrete slab with 40 to 60% RCA, recycled concrete aggregate sand fraction, ongoing pilot, which is in a quite aggressive environment. This is also going to be finalized this year. Block production we have done. We have worked in India with the support of the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Norway, and we have actually quite large experience of extremely difficult waste streams, which are full-scale demonstrated, and in this case into blocks, and even patented. Yeah, we like to say that we work on different all levels at the ministry level, but also on the ground where the pilot is installed. So if you go back and see the challenges with the debris from damaged buildings, there are a lot of similarities, of course, to regular C&D waste, but there are some issues that needs to be resolved. First of all, it may contain hazardous waste building material which needs to be disposed properly of. No doubt about that. That will need a system where you can take out the asbestos or the polluted materials. It is extremely mixed as well. It may also require a little bit more efforts in the segregation part and the pre-sorting, because pre-sorting you will need when you are producing high-value products from these debris. Another challenge is this UXO. It may contain unexploded ordnance, which of course will need professionals to go through and take out. And also, we also have more or less identified that the rubble of larger building pieces, which we now are looking for reuse scenarios, may be checked for structural damages, because that is something we actually put a lot of efforts in and want to develop on-site non-destructive assessment methods to clear out which part of the structural building is actually can be actually used again, if it's for example is a concrete element. Yeah, with this background, we actually signed the MOU today with 3 Ukrainian partners: Spetstechnika LLC Ukraine, and also the UST, US Ukraine Support Team, and the Regional Development Agency of Odessa region. And the MOU was signed together with the 2 Norwegian partners, Nokon and SINTEF, the Foundation for Industrial and Technical Research. So we are quite happy to come to this stage and sign an agreement. And the main objective is to do a feasibility study, and that includes technical feasibility, it includes environmental feasibility, and also the economic feasibility of recycling of debris from a certain site, and this will be followed up in this cooperation with to develop a pilot and do a pilot that demonstrate 100% circularity. And this will be documented from A to Z, from all the practical experiences, all the technical documentation, so that we have that, and so that it can be replicated and made available for all concerned parties. Yeah, I think that's enough from my side. I thank you very much for the attention as the last speaker on this session.
Thank you a lot, Christian. Дякуємо всім.
Thank you very much, Christian. Thank you very much for all of the audience members. Everybody was listening carefully, and everybody is a little bit tired. So a big thank you to everyone, and have a good afternoon. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Olena. Thank you very much to all the speakers. Dear colleagues, a big thank you for fruitful collaboration. Today we were able to discuss a big number of questions related to the recovery of Ukraine, and a big thank you to everyone who took part in today's event, the government representatives, international partners and organizations, business partners, and every single person who is going to join the recovery of Ukraine. Your support is very important for the recovery of Ukraine. This is the third forum, and each year the number of participants grows, and we know that together we're going to achieve a victory, and we will rebuild a freer and stronger Ukraine. And we are organizing this forum during this exhibition, and we are very thankful to our partners, hoping for further fruitful collaboration. If you have not seen the exhibition, please do that tomorrow. It will be open all day long. And now in the fourth pavilion, and the conference room called Ukraine is now holding an event, and please make sure to attend it. Thank you very much, and see you next year during the Recovery and Construction Forum.